Hello students, welcome back. So we have completed 3 modules so far. So let us go through another new introduction. Okay, this is your 4th module. Okay, which is named as Introduction to Engineering Economy. Okay, so Introduction to Engineering Economy. So this is what we'll go through. So this chapter, it is related to money. Okay, what is economy? It's related to money, right? Investment, cash, terms like this. So about that you will study. So let me just brush on. So in our first module we have studied basic what management is, right? What basically management is and about that. So second module you have studied about resource management, right? So under resource management there are 4 major things that you need to know. That is materials, okay, um, equipment, okay, and also yeah, you need money too. So about material we have studied in our previous second module. Also we have studied about equipment there. So third module you have studied about safety and some basic ethics. Okay, about your work lifestyle, about that. So in this 4th module you will be studying about economy. Okay, mainly we are going into the branch of money here. Okay, so as you all know there are 3 parts in any module. So similarly you have same part even in the 4th module, that is part 1, part 2 and part 3. Okay, so in this presentation we will study about part 1. So let me just read this to you all. So in part 1 there is introduction to engineering economy. Okay, so you will learn what engineering economy is all about. Okay, you will study about that. Okay, definition and scope of engineering economics, about that. Also principles of engineering economy. Okay, there are few principles which follows this term. So we study about principles of engineering economics. Okay, so then you will study about concept of micro and macro analysis. There are 2 terms. Okay, micro and macro. Okay, micro is it's termed as like uh, will go through it one by one. And then third one is problem solving and decision making. Okay, so in this first part, let me repeat it. In this first part, under introduction of engineering economy, there are principles of engineering economics, concept of macro and micro analysis, and then problem solving and decision making. So this will cover part 1. Okay, let's read out further. So these are the contents that are present. Okay, in this part 1, that is principles of engineering economy. Okay, you study the principles of engineering economy. You study the concept of micro and macro analysis. Okay, 2 terms are there. We'll study what is it and also a few difference between them. And then we will study about problem solving and decision making. Right? What is problem solving? Right? Any sort of problem that is occurred, you need to solve it. How do you solve it? Okay, decision making. Okay, in a very big project in your firm, you can't take a quick immediate decision. You take time and take the right decision, right, for your betterment of your work. So about that we'll study. So these are the 3 concepts that are under part 1. Okay. See, this is a small picture, right? You can go through it. See, there are buildings, there is water, there is everything. Okay, what all it is include? Mainly money, right? There is money. Okay, there is vision, there is a solution. You plan it and everything. So whatever you do, whatever project you do, or whatever work you proceed with, everything needs money. So the whole factor about this unit is money. Okay, how are we going to deal with money and everything? Okay, economy. Okay, money. Okay, so I'll move to the next one. Now let us go through the term called economics. Okay, what does it mean? I'll read this out. Economics is the science that deals with the production and consumption of goods and services and the distribution and rendering of these for human welfare. So what does that mean? Economics is the science that deals with the production and consumption of goods, right? Goods and services is the most important for everyone. Okay, so product, how it is produced. Okay, about that, and also distribution and rendering of these for human welfare. The people, human will have certain needs and wants. So distribution of this to them overall is called as economics. So there are some goals. Okay, the following are the economic goals, how it should be. First point is high level of employment, right? You make sure that the employment is high at it, you get employment. Second point is price stability, right? The price should be stable enough, whatever you buy and everything. Efficiency, right? It should be efficient. Then there's an equitable distribution of income. Okay, even that is one of the goal. And then growth, how the growth will happen in that in any area or in any firm. So these are the few goals that you keep in your mind. Okay, these are the economic goals. As to under economics, these are the terms. So here are a few definitions and some detail of the term. So I'll read this definition. Engineering economics deals with the methods that enable one to take economic decisions towards minimizing cost or maximizing benefits to their business organization. So basically, it is a method you take economic decisions. Okay, either you minimize the cost or maximize. Okay, left to you. But whatsoever you do, you have to get benefits to your business organization. You're putting your organization ahead. You're helping it grow. So that is what engineering economics is. Okay. So there are few scope of this. So the issues that are covered in this book are elementary economic analysis. You will study basically we are telling where and all this is applied. So economic analysis, interest formula. Okay, you will study about interest formula. Okay, there are interest like there is simple interest and compound interest about that. Basis for comparing alternatives. Okay, there are different kind of alternatives in which the best you select the one which is appropriate for you. So these are the alternatives. That is present worth method. Okay, future worth method, annual equivalent method, rate of return method, replacement analysis, depreciation. Okay, these are different sort of methods. Okay, there are problems as well under these methods. We will study it further in different parts. And the evaluation of public alternatives. Okay, inflation adjusted investment decisions, make or buy decisions, inventory control, project management, value engineering, and linear programming. So this is the scope of this term, engineering economics. So third bullet is engineering economics is the application of economic factors and criteria to evaluate alternatives by computing a specific measure of worth of estimated cash flows over a specific period of time. Okay, so basically what happens is there are cash flows. Okay, there are cash outflows, cash inflows, like how much money is gone, how much is saved, and everything about all the detailed application of that. Okay, the engineering economics application of all these things, we'll get to know everything one by one as we move further. Okay, I'll move on to the next one. So here are a few principles we need to know. Okay, principles of engineering economy. So first one is develop the alternatives. Okay, so you'll go through different alternatives, right? The best one you're going to select among that. That is the final choice or the decision is among the alternatives. The alternatives need to be identified and then defined for subsequent analysis. Okay, it needs to be identified and also should go through as to which is the better for this particular work, and then you are going to select it. Second is focus on the differences. Only the differences in expected future outcomes among the alternatives are relevant to their comparison and should be considered in the decision. You have to focus on the differences, whatever branch you opt. Okay, in the final aspect. Okay, you are going to focus on that. Next is use of consistent viewpoint. The prospective outcomes of the alternatives, economic and other, should be consistently developed from a defined viewpoint, okay, or from the perspective. Okay, next is use a common unit of measure. Using a common unit of measurement to enumerate as many of the prospective outcomes as possible will make easier the analysis and comparison of alternatives. So make sure you're making use of a common unit of measurement, okay, for any sort of work, so that is also helpful for your alternatives when you analyze that. So about that, next point is considering all the relevant criteria. Okay, so selection of a preferred alternative, that is decision making, requires the use of criteria or several criteria. So when you make decisions, you are going to consider all the criteria. Okay, all the positive, negative, everything should be considered, and you go through your further stage. Okay, so considering everything. Sixth point is make uncertainty explicit. Uncertainty is inherent in projecting or estimating the future outcomes of the alternatives and should be recognized in their analysis and comparison. Okay, so basically you have to make uncertainty explicit. Okay, so that is estimating the future outcomes of alternatives. It should be recognized by their process, their analysis, and then comparing both. Next is revisit your decisions. Improve decision making results from adaptive process. To extent practicable, the initial projected outcomes of the selected alternative should be subsequently compared with the actual results. Okay, achieved. So there are different ways to reach your goal. So you will be having you will have your there is expected results. Okay, as to this is how your work should be done or your result should obtain, and the actual result you are going to compare between the both and again revisit your decisions. Okay, these are few of the principles of engineering economy. Okay, please go through this. They will ask what engineering economy is, what is the definition, and also principles of engineering economics. They can ask, okay, like this the question. Let's move on to the next concept. see, there are two terms you will study. Okay, you will study about micro analysis and macro analysis. Okay, so I will give a small what do you call? I'll just tell what both are in general. So microeconomics is study of the economics at an individual, or either it is individual level or a group of people in a company level. So it is like dealt with that microeconomics. Okay, whereas macroeconomics, in the other hand, it is the study of national economy as a whole. Okay, so it focuses on in the national level, right, like pretty higher than the microeconomics. So I will read this out. We'll see what are the things under that. So microeconomics, okay, microeconomics. It is the study of markets and segments of the economy. Okay, about your markets and segments. It looks at issues such as consumer behavior, okay, individual labor markets, and theory of firms. Okay, so it is basically it's like a group of company or individual and deals with the consumer behavior of the consumers and the your market. Uh, what do you call the individual labor market, and there are few other terms and conditions of the firm. So according to that, your work is done, but it focuses mainly on individual markets. Okay, so see, here are a few microeconomics is concerned with. The first is supply and demand in individual market, right? Supply, about that individual term is important here. Second is individual consumer behavior. Example, consumer choice theory. Okay, so under individual will have their own choice, right, about your what they want to purchase and like about that. And then there's individual labor markets. Example, demand for labor and wage determination, right? You can demand for your work and about that your work related individual or group of company level, about that within that, sorry. So next is externalities arising from production and consumption. Example, externalities. So this is about microeconomics, which focuses more on individual, group, and company level. Okay, within that. Okay, so let's see what is under macroeconomics. So here is macroeconomics. So like I told you, this is a study of the whole economy. Okay, overall everything. So it looks at aggregate variables such as aggregate demand, national output, and inflation. So it is related to the overall the national economy. Okay, as a whole. So macroeconomics is concerned with monetary fiscal policy, reasons for inflation and unemployment, about their economic growth, international trade and globalization. Like I told you, it's way higher than the microeconomics. Even international trade is related to it. Reasons for differences in living standards and economic growth between countries. So even the economic exchange and economic growth within the countries, international trade, about that, and also government borrowing, like change of currency and everything from one government to other. So that is all included in macroeconomics. But microeconomics, they are form, they are policy, and within that, okay, they are the one who work under them, about that. This is a little whole. It completes everything. Okay, all the international and globalization and the government borrowing, everything is concerned with this. Okay, this kind of economics. So next, let us see what are the difference between two. Okay, so there are few differences, okay, between microeconomics and macroeconomics. So, see, first point is microeconomics is the study of economics at an individual, group, or a company level, right? It could be an individual or in a group of company level about that. Macroeconomics study of national economy as a whole. So overall, the national economy overall. Okay, that is macroeconomics. So second point is it focuses on issues that affect individuals and companies. Right? It is mainly focused on issues that any individual or about any company about that. Okay, this could mean studying. This could mean studying the supply and demand for a specific product, the production that an individual or a business is capable of, the effects of regulations on a business. So there is a company, okay, that will run a business. Okay, there will be supply and demand and all this happening there. So issues related within that, okay, that is sorted in. That is what comes under microeconomics. Whereas in macroeconomics, see, it focuses on issues that affect the economy as a whole, like overall. Okay, it's pretty enlarged than the microeconomics. Some of the most common focuses on macroeconomics include unemployment rates. Okay, one is the rate of unemployment that is occurred. That is a problem, overall problem about that. The gross domestic product of an economy. Okay, and the effects of export and imports. Okay, how is it affected? How is the rate decreases or increases? Okay, your product is going selling out of the country and is whatever is coming inside. So about all these details it focuses on, which is macroeconomics. Okay, so third point is micro means very small or millionth part. Okay, it's small, obviously it's not as big as macro, but when it comes to macro it is the whole. Okay, it's large or whole. The fourth point is the subject or example of microeconomics is about a person, an investor, and a producer. Okay, it could be about a person who is going to either the one who is investing, who's called the investor, and the producer. Okay, subject is about that. Whereas in microeconomics, the subject of microeconomics is about national production, okay, production of the nation, national income, overall income of the nation and income level, okay. So next point is, as it analyzes individually, it provides a partial concept or partial figure of a country. Okay, so like under microeconomics, only a few concept is like you focuses on not to focus on not a lot. Okay, a little. So the partial, a part of it. Okay, it is related to the concept, whereas macroeconomics, as it analyzes overall, okay, overall is analyzed, it provides full figures or complete reflection of a country. Okay, so yeah, you can find the difference, right? How is it related? So in macroeconomics, since it is the whole and the everything is termed or tallied as a whole. So what happens is it provides full figures, okay, or completion reflection of the country. Last point is it is concerned with the individual entities, right? It is concerned with the individual entities. This is concerned with the overall performance of the country. Okay, if the overall country is under loss, it is under loss. If it's going ahead, so it's like that. I hope you have got it. How do you term this? Okay, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Okay, you need to know. The question has been arised. Okay, either they'll ask what explain micro and macroeconomics, or they can ask give the difference between both, like differentiate between micro and macroeconomics. So either of the one they are definitely going to ask. Please have a look on this. Okay. problem solving and decision making. Okay, there should be a process for this. Okay, so the fundamental approach to solve problem solving is scientific methods used both theoretical and practical. Okay, both theory wise and also in practical knowledge, we are going to solve the problems in the same way. So it takes the real world facts and figure and symbolic world of theories and hypothesis of solve problems through an iterative process. Okay, so there is a figure which I'm not able, I didn't mention here. I have to draw it, or I'll send a picture. Okay, I'll send a picture of the figure in the group. So in that picture, there are a few terms. Okay, there is hypothesis, experiment, prediction, and data, and about feedback, and everything, the terms which is used here related to that. I'll send a photo of that. So problems in engineering and managerial economy originate in real world of economic planning, management and control, right? When you're doing the planning, when you're managing and when you're controlling, there are definitely problems going to occur in that. Okay, so problem is defined and clarified by data from the real world. Okay, first problem is to be found and then define it and then sort that. Next is this information is subjected to analysis based on scientific principles to formulate hypotheses in symbolic terms. Okay, so what it's like you relate your solution. Okay, whatever from where problem is coming and exactly to that way how are you going to solve. It's all interconnected. Okay, by manipulating and experimenting, an analyst can simulate and project reality in multiple configurations to understand outcomes. Okay, so let's see, few tips are there how do you solve problem in the next slide. Few tips for to make decisions. Okay, let's see. So there are 7 steps, okay, in this process under decision making, or how do you solve your problem. First, you should identify the problem. Okay, you have to recognize or define the problem. Okay, check on that. Second, gather information about, okay, any information about that problem related to the issue. Okay. Third is develop courses of action. Okay, you try to provide solutions and through different ideas how are you going to sort it out. You'll see about that. Fourth is analyze and compare courses of action. Okay, there are varieties of alternatives, so you'll compare and analyze and to take the best course of action. That is the next point. So before that you will analyze and keep it ready. So next point, you will make a decision by selecting the best course of action. Okay, which you have analyzed and kept ready. In that you will opt the one which you want to sort. Okay, solution. Okay, next you will make a plan, and after that you will implement the plan. Okay, you will get the results through that. So this is how we are going to do that step by step procedure. 7 basic step process for solving the problems. Okay. So if we go to see here, there are few tips on making good decisions. Okay, what all tips you can take or keep it for yourself. Okay, that is going to help you. So first point is avoid the temptation to make an impulsive decision in order to get the work done. Work of decision making. Okay, just because you have to take decision, don't make decision in rush. That is what they tell. Don't make impulsive decision in order to get the work of decision making. While there is time and place of quick decisions, generally good decisions have been given some thought. Okay, take time and put on your ideas, and there is time and good decision they are going to select. So second point is take the time you need to think things over, but don't use this as an excuse to avoid. Not making a decision is in or and of itself a decision. So basically, take time for whatever to think and to make decision take time. So third one is over focusing on the right decision and leave you stuck. Can leave you stuck. Okay, don't over focus on it too much. And sometimes there isn't a right decision. Remember, you are looking for a good decision. Okay, there is no right decision. Something like the term right decision. There is good decision, and you can always continue to decision make in response to your initial decision. Okay, use your next is use your head. If you make a particular decision, you can explain it to others. Is it reasonable? See about that. Does it make sense? Make sure about that too. Next is listen to yourself. Your gut reaction, intuition is important. Okay, always listen to yourself. And if a particular course of action doesn't feel right, don't pursue it. If you feel that something is not going right through the decision you have made, stop it then and there. Think about something else. So let's see. There are few more in the next page. See, pay attention to how will you feel about yourself if you make one decision instead of another. Will you be proud of yourself? Can you live with yourself? Even that should be thought of. Next is ask yourself if your decision is ethical. Make sure that whatever decision you make, it should be ethical, not unethical. Okay, make sure about that. Next is talk it out. Reviewing your options with a trusted friend can help you sort out what to do. So always talk it out. So whatever is in your mind, share it and ask opinion from your friends. Or if something is not going good, talk to someone. Next is make it your own. Resist the temptation to allow others to make difficult decisions for you. Okay, don't let others make difficult decisions for you. Do it yourself. This only serves to reduce your confidence and ability to set your own course, right? When you give way for others to put your decision, what happens? Your self-confidence will go low. You will have doubt on yourself whether you can do this or not. Okay? So make sure, keep that in mind. Next is learn from your experience. Okay? Pay attention to what you have done to make good decisions or poor decisions. Okay? When situations and problems repeat themselves, take the opportunity to improve your decision making. So through your experience, you'll get to know what is good, what is bad for you, right? Try to take that as an opportunity and try to make better out of that. Okay, so last point is give yourself break. Okay, give yourself a break. We all have times when we make decisions we later wish we hadn't. Okay, forgive yourself and move on. Okay, these are some basic things you can keep in your mind just for you to understand, because tomorrow you all can be an entrepreneur. You can start up your own business, or you can be the head of anything. Okay, so wherever you are, you need to take decisions about the further action, okay, of any problem, anything. So keep these things in your mind, and it's just general tips. So here we have completed first part of module 4. Okay, so part 1 is done. So the next video we will start with part 2. Okay, thank you.